Howdy ho, good neighbor. It is apparent that what are you doing in my bathroom? First of all, what are you doing in here? Well, it is apparent you can see while I need a haircut. I got this. If I was born in Caesar times, Alexander the Great and Caesar, this is how I would cut my hair or have my hair cut. But you can see I need a haircut. Look at this. It's getting ridiculous. So today's video is how much, get that right, how much for a haircut. So let's, the reason I've been cutting it myself is I just been trimming it with the buzzer. I go in and I ask them, hey, give me a haircut. And they just use the trimmer the whole way. I can do that at home, but let's go get a haircut. These things need cut, professional cut. So the year of 2026, how much is it for a haircut? And I give them a pretty good tip because those people work hard. Even though well, everybody wants a tip now, so all right, that looks a little better. I like that haircut better than the Caesar haircut. All right, let's get in our car and head to where we head. All right, get in the car. Let's go. Yeah, and stick your tooth in. Well, howdy ho, good neighbor. Yes, I'm behind the wheel, but I do have you on a selfie stick. So I always drive with one hand, so I am paying attention to the road and driving, and I'm not looking at the camera. But as you can see, I am on my way to get a haircut, and it's almost like the 70s, the long hair, the Justin Bieber look. Well, it's in, but I've never been one to follow the crowd. I do like a short haircut. I deal a lot with different people. And yeah, I wish I could do the back. I almost bought a Flowbee at one time. There was this thing called a Flowbee, and you hook it up to your vacuum cleaner, and all you do was vacuum clean your head, and you would get a pretty good haircut out of it. It would cut your hair for you, and it would suck all the hair into the vacuum cleaner, but it never caught on. But I always remembered the Flowbee. So I got to go get this thing professionally done. I did it last time. I messed up the back, but you see this, the back, when the back of my neck, when I could pull the hair on the back of my neck, it's time to get a haircut. And it just looks like you take care of yourself. Looks like it. So what do you think, Big the Foot? How much does it cost for you to get a haircut, Big the Foot? Yeah, that would be a pretty good, well, he is a man, so man haircut is different than a woman's. So yeah, let's get on the road and go get a haircut. And this is where you shouldn't be driving, so let's not do that. Okay, Big the Foot? Now here is a part of Alameda that you got to be careful with, because a lot of people are going to the Shoreline Shopping Center, and there's always one or two people that get into this lane. They don't know it turns into a one-laner up here, and then a lot of people know about it turning. So yeah, you got both sides of society here. The society that knows the lane is going to change, and they ride it out and they cut in front of you. And then you got the other side that doesn't know the lane is changing. So for me, I can go because I'm turning. But a lot of people go straight when they should be turning, if that makes any sense, because traffic gets so backed up right here. So we got cheaters in the world. Oh, and then what's causing a little more traffic here is a yard sale. But you will see right as I turn this corner to go get a haircut, you will see what people do. This person right here Now, is he a cheater or an honest person that did not know the traffic was going to change? I think he was a cheater. He knew about this lane. He just was impatient. See, that's what's wrong with society, is there's a lot of entitled people that, yeah, they're just entitled, that's all. All right, let's get on the road. Okay, Big the Foot. Well, howdy ho, good neighbor. It is apparent I got some premium parking right on this street, and parking is tight around here. Usually they have this little small parking, but I was thinking, look at these stickers. Maybe this is something in my future. I don't know. I don't know. But a sticker, you know how they slap them on, but look how I told you parking is tight. Just getting out of this parking lot, look at how tight it is, just getting out of it. So yeah, you can see I got the old fake tooth in. I go in October to do a stress test. They're gonna put something in and pull on it. Hopefully it doesn't pull out again. This could be my future, I hope not. But so I always like to give you this little look right here. Look at this. We got the Vine Cafe. We got a walkway. We got a man greeting us. He's greeting everybody. I don't know what he's doing, but yeah, he's got the mask on. In 2026, COVID was way back in the day, COVID-19. So that guy's still wearing his mask, and I can't believe that. All right, let's get the camera back on that. But yeah, that's a nice little walkway, isn't it? All right, so I'll show you. Oh, no wonder the parking is so tight. We got a little street fair or something here. So, yeah, I bet you I gotta wait for a haircut, but something's happening here. Good thing I got my microphone on today. But yeah, we're getting a haircut. How much is a haircut in 2026? I don't know. But yeah, they got this street closed down. They got something going on. But we're still gonna do the original video. Yeah, look at down there. All the way. Let me do the old zoomer. Yeah, they're checking 1, 2. Look at. Wow. So who knew there's a street fair here? I guess I don't have to worry about traffic. It's all closed down. All right. Well, let's go get a haircut. Let's see how much it is. Here's where I get my haircut. Super Cuts, where all the super duper people go. Super Cuts. So, there we go. Looks like the wait is a minimum. All right, how much is a haircut? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Competition. All right, I'm still gonna go to the original people. I'll let you know after I get inside. I'm not gonna film inside, of course. How much is a haircut? I'll let you know. Let's go get one. Oh, I should give you a screenshot. Off. All right, let's go get that haircut. How much will it cost? Well, this one says $15. But Super Cuts, I think they're a little more. Let's go. But I'm super. Okay. Here it is. Here is the final product. That's right. It cost $23 for a haircut at Super Cuts. $23 out the door, no tip. Of course, I do tip them $5 for the haircut. And then they do a nice gesture of trimming these big old bushy eyebrows I have. So for that much, I tip them $3. So $5 tip, and it's a slow time. Everybody's slow on money, so you feel a little generous and do what you can. So for that, for this place right here, we're gonna get Super Cuts in Alameda, $23 for a haircut and $5 for a tip, so that would make it $28, and that's about out the door, $28. So all right, there you go. Well, I'm gonna go back to that street fair back there and maybe do another video. I don't know. Yeah, I gotta give me some of those stickers, just like that, so I can do a slap and tag. These might be YouTubers, I don't know. There's somebody. He looks eggs, I don't know. But somebody's slapping and tagging that place. All right, so there's a street fair down there. Let's go down there and see what we can find. Well, as always, I want to thank you again for coming along with me on these. How much do haircut cost in Alameda? That's right, $23 with a tip. All right, the tip, you can determine that on your own. Okay, where'd this traffic coming from? Wow. All right, that's what a new Honda looks like. Look at that. I thought that was a Harley. Wow, that's nice, isn't it? I'm not a motorcycle rider, but that's a Honda. Crazy. All right, widescreen shot for that. All right, let's go see that. Look, I can't believe all the masks. Yeah, look at these people behind me. They're wearing masks in this type of day and age. So who does that? I don't know. But there is people out here who still do it, believe it or not. All right. Well, as always, I want to thank you again for coming along with me on these. How much does a haircut adventure cost? You know the drill. Peace, love, and all that hippie jazz. Bye-bye, everybody. Yeah, let's go see who's seeing.